Hi, welcome back. Your compass is your vision that you hold for your life. Your vision is your compass. Your compass is your vision. And when we think about a dream life, when we think about what we want in our future, we tend to think about specific material things. I want the house, I want the car, I want the perfect looking partner, I want all these things. I want material things. And what we really want is some level of not only happiness, but fulfillment and satisfaction. We want to feel satisfied. At least that's what I think. We want to feel that we have a sense of purpose and meaning and intention in our lives. So when you're thinking about casting a vision for yourself in your life, focus in on not only the details, because we are visual creatures and sometimes the visions are clear and we can see them, or it helps us move forward. But what is it that is the feeling behind that possible material thing or that environment that we want to see ourselves in? How does that make us feel? And if we can tap into that energy, that frequency of that desire, and then embody that, we can bring that to ourselves today, right now, in this moment. We are an energetic being, then we can manufacture emotions and feelings, and we can attach positive thoughts, positive emotions to anything that we want. We're the co-creators of our life. And if we can pull on that divine source of energy, anything's possible. So when you're thinking about what is it that I want for myself in your life, think about, how do I want to feel? How do I want to wake up in the day? How do I want to move through the day? If I want to have a life filled with freedom, what does that feel like in every moment? And can I bring that in? If I want to have a life filled with love, how do I bring that in every moment as much as possible into things that I'm doing? When I love doing the dishes, or because I love having a clean house, or cooking, or, anything in life, those little mundane things, if I can insert that emotion into it, then over time, it doesn't matter what the exterior looks like in the moment, because I'm already living that dream life and that dream feeling, and I'm energetically matching to it. And as soon as I can match to that, then realities start to shift, because your magnetic energy starts to recalibrate internally, because you're not letting anything else get in the way of distractions. And then people will shift and change. So if you think highly of yourself and value yourself, and not to walk in any sort of air or arrogance, not at all, but just to feel the worthiness of yourself walking through, just that you get to feel and contemplate the feelings. That's mastery of oneself, of understanding and articulating that connection. Then everyone around you is going to reflect back to you how you feel, who you are, and what you're about. And so a lot of times we are just used to building up a sense of status and a sense of looking at, we tend to look at results. Are we getting the results that we need in life? Are we hitting certain numbers? Are we hitting a certain quota? And in some cases, that may be applicable. But when we're talking about life and we're talking about ourselves and a very ethereal place, that is just this sense of being in the moment and feeling alive and just feeling everything and not numbing out or not wanting to numb out, we can connect. And so by connecting and feeling alive, we want to be able to turn that on anytime we want, even in the darkest of hours, even when it's difficult, even when it's challenging. And not that we're spiritually bypassing or we're trying to gloss over and be happy, but it is something about being calm, being collected, being grounded, finding the silver lining, or finding the solution that needs to happen so that we can keep moving forward, or finding the things that we look forward to and making life exciting for ourselves. You get to build whatever you want. And if you're not happy with what is in life and where you're at in life, this is a very simple fix. Find the things that make you happy and start small. Start in the everyday, because this is what everyday is, right? We have these big moments in life, but they're not everyday moments. And so if we can bring that vision of what this dream life is, or this idea of like, once I we want to let go of the idea of once I have this and once I have that, then I'll get to have everything I want, or that'll make me happy. That's an illusion. We can be happy, we can be satisfied, we can be fulfilled, we can be in pleasure, we can be in love in our lives today, right now, in this moment, if we so choose. And it's just a matter of really looking at, well, what is it in my life that I already have that I really like, that I really love, that I really embody, that I can align my frequency with, that is already working for me. If I can walk around believing, knowing that I'm already living my dream life, even though it doesn't look like it on the outside in every single way. Maybe there are some things that do, but I can walk with certainty. I know that it's the things that I'm working towards are coming for me, and that I have a lot more than I'm giving myself credit. And I can walk in that, I can be in that, I can embody that. We're just going to get there faster. It's not even about getting there faster. We're just deciding that this is the life I'm going to live, and this is how I'm going to be, and this is the state of being I'm deciding to be in. And so it is. I'm not waiting for anything. I decide today that I want to live in this particular state of frequency and state of mind, and that is it. And it's as simple as that. And so when we can ground ourselves, right? We want to ground ourselves. We want to make sure that we're sturdy. We know who we are. We know what our values are. We have this sense of meaning and purpose in our lives because we've given it to ourselves, because we're this co-creator. And all we have to do when we want to think about what's next in our life and where we want to go in our dreams, how do I want to feel every step of the way? How do I want to feel when I wake up? How do I want my day to look? How do I want to move through the day? How do I want to be with my partners? How do I want to be with the work that I do? And not everything is going to be wonderful, but I can still find the pieces within. I can still turn the perspective around and make them the way I want them to be, make them joyful, make them happy, make them lighthearted. And I can move through challenges very easily. And then I could also be in full bloom in my desires because I'm already feeling them. When we want and we desire things, a lot of times we focus on the exterior. And when we can really focus in on energetically, how does this make me feel? How am I going to feel to have that thing that I want? Then I can let go of what it's supposed to look like. And then I'm looking for the frequency attachment. I'm looking for the frequency attraction that will allow me to bring that in. When we think about how we want to move forward in life and our big experiences, we want to remember who we are. We want to remember the strengths of what we've done in the past to help get us to where we've been, to get us to where we are today. And when we want to take those bigger leaps and those bigger jumps in life, we want to remember who we are and then that feeling of what it is. And we can move through them with ease. We can move through them without feeling as scared, as nervous, as fearful, because we've been embodying what it feels like to just stand in that power of being that person. So let's say you wanted to get on stage and talk and you want to be a big presence. You practice visualizing and being that embodied person, standing on stage, having that conversation, making that talk, empowering your words to empower other people. And you forget about, it doesn't even register all of the doubts and the fears and the what ifs and the what are they going to think. It doesn't matter because you're so focused on what it is that you're doing. And so when we can embody that now, we can start to visualize like everything, like the energetic being of what that is in who we want to be in our lives. Then stepping into that is just a matter of a choice of, I'm just going to embody that today. What would it look like? What would it feel like if I already had that persona, that title, that thing or that way? I don't have to wait for anything to come into place. I can just already start acting from that place today. So as you move through and you start to envision a world and a life for yourself, as you carve out a new path, this is a great time to just sit with, how will it feel? How can I bring that today into my body, into my way of being, into my mindset, into my heart? If I want to live a certain way, if I want to love my life, if I want to be bold, if I want to be brave, if I want to be expressive and creative, let's start right now. And what does that feel like? And how would I start acting if I had that lens on and was doing everything already knowing that we're just right here. It's right here and it's about to reveal itself, whatever it is that I've been desiring and dreaming. See how it works for you and see if there's any difference. And always remember that you're this co-creator with the divine. You're an enlightened, creative, spiritual powerhouse. And it's just a matter of you embodying the things that are already within you. The code is already within you. Your values, who you are already within you. It's just your job to bring them out into the world and share your gifts with the rest of us. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support, for your likes, for everything that you do. And keep living the beautiful dream. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.